$6 billion a year. That's what Americans spend on outboard engines, and Mercury owns 41% of it. So I asked 20 marine mechanics, 400 years of combined experience, one question: what outboard would you buy with your own money? 65% said Yamaha, almost none said Mercury. The gap between what sells and what lasts starts with a $15,000 repair bill. Each year, more than $6 billion flow through the outboard engine market in the United States alone. Mercury claims 41% of that total, making it the single most dominant brand on American water. That kind of market share isn't just a number, it's leverage over boat builders, dealers, and buyers from coast to coast. At this scale, even a small shift in buyer preference can move hundreds of millions of dollars. Industry analysts project the outboard sector will keep growing at about 5% a year, fueled by a steady rise in boat ownership and the push for cleaner, more efficient engines. For manufacturers, every percentage point of market share represents tens of thousands of engines and millions in future service work. Mercury's position at the top means its decisions ripple through the entire industry, shaping which models get stocked, which brands get bundled with new boats, and even which repair shops stay in business. But when a single repair can cost as much as a used car, the question isn't just who sells the most, it's who stands behind their engine when the bills come due. In a market this big, reputation and trust aren't just talking points, they're worth billions. 20 marine mechanics, together holding 4 centuries of hands-on experience, were asked a simple question. If it was their own money on the line, which outboard would they buy? The answers cut straight through the glossy brochures and big-name sponsorships. 13 out of 20, 65% picked Yamaha, 5 named Suzuki. Only 3 chose Mercury, the brand that dominates American sales charts. Not a single vote went to Honda, Tohatsu, or any other competitor. This collective voice isn't just a list of personal favorites. Each mechanic has spent decades in the service bay, tearing down gear cases, chasing electrical gremlins, and facing the real-world cost of every design decision. Their choices reflect thousands of repair tickets and late-night calls from stranded boaters. In their view, reliability isn't a promise. It's a pattern that shows up over years of repeated failures, parts orders, and owner complaints. For these mechanics, the brand badge matters far less than the numbers behind it. Yamaha's lead in their survey comes from hard-won trust, fewer catastrophic failures, easier access to parts, and engines that routinely run 3,000 hours before a major overhaul. Suzuki stands out for its use of timing chains and affordable replacement parts, keeping long-term costs in check. Meanwhile, Mercury's high-profile market share doesn't translate into confidence among the people who fix them for a living. When the bill for a lower unit rebuild can run triple that of a Suzuki, even brand loyalty starts to crack. The message from the 400-year crew is clear. In the world of outboards, reputation is earned one repair at a time. Yamaha's reputation among experienced mechanics isn't built on advertising or sponsorships. It's grounded in what happens after hundreds of hours on the water. In the survey, a veteran mechanic with over 30 years in saltwater service summed it up. If I had to bet my own paycheck, I'd take the Yamaha every time. I've seen them go 1,200 hours before anyone even cracks the head. That kind of longevity isn't luck. Yamaha's 4-stroke blocks use titanium nitride coatings on cylinder walls, a technology that cuts friction and shrugs off the corrosive bite of salt water. While some brands tout a 1,000-hour rating, Yamaha's F-150 series is routinely pushed well beyond that mark in commercial fleets. Parts access is another quiet advantage. Yamaha's dealer network can deliver over 90% of OEM components within 48 hours, even in remote regions. For mechanics, this means fewer engines sitting idle, fewer angry calls from charter captains, and a steady flow of return business. The numbers back up the preference. When reliability is measured in years, not just seasons, the trust in Yamaha is earned at the molecular level. Suzuki's place in the mechanics survey isn't about brand loyalty or marketing, it's about math that works in the real world. 5 out of 20 mechanics pointed to Suzuki for one simple reason: fewer surprises when the repair bill lands. Unlike some engines that rely on timing belts needing replacement every few hundred hours, most Suzuki 4-strokes run a timing chain. That chain is designed to last the life of the engine, eliminating a major scheduled expense. For a value-driven owner, that means no $1,200 belt change at 400 hours, and less risk of catastrophic failure if a belt snaps. Mechanics also zeroed in on the cost of big repairs. A Suzuki lower unit swap typically runs between $5,000 and $6,000, less than half the price of a comparable Mercury job. One mechanic, known for running his own crab boat on a shoestring, said he's had Suzuki engines go 600 hours before needing anything more than basic service. For those who count every dollar, Suzuki's equation is hard to beat. Longer intervals between visits, fewer high-ticket surprises, and a parts catalog that won't break the bank. That's why, even without the largest market share, Suzuki keeps winning over the value seekers in the service bay. Brunswick's grip on the outboard market runs deeper than brand stickers or glossy ads. As the parent company of Mercury, Boston Whaler, Crestliner, and Harris Pontoons, Brunswick controls not just the engines, but the boats they're bolted to and the showrooms where they're sold. Nearly 7 out of 10 new outboards in the US, 68%, move through Brunswick-owned or affiliated dealers. This pipeline makes Mercury the default choice for anyone buying a new Whaler or Crestliner, steering customers toward Mercury even before they set foot on the lot. A Brunswick insider described the system as vertical integration with a velvet glove, a quiet force that shapes what ends up on the water, regardless of what independent mechanics might recommend. But the real shock comes when the warranty runs out and the repair invoice lands. Mechanics point to the Mercury Pro XS250 as the poster child for this cost gap. A full lower unit rebuild on this engine can top $15,000, 3 times the bill for a Suzuki and double that of a comparable Yamaha. The breakdown is brutal: over $8,000 for parts, nearly $1,700 in labor, and thousands more in shop fees and diagnostics. For boat owners, that's not just a repair, it's a gut punch, the kind that can turn a good season sour overnight. The numbers explain why mechanics, when spending their own money, look past the showroom and straight at the long-term math. The system rewards market share, but it's owners who pay the price when things go wrong. Under the hood, brand loyalty can look like smoke and mirrors. Most buyers would never guess that every Mercury outboard under 60 horsepower is actually built by Tohatsu in Japan. These engines roll off the same assembly line with the same pistons, crankcases, and carburetors. Only the sticker changes. Yet the price tag doesn't. Mercury's badge can add $400 to $600 to the cost of an engine that's mechanically identical to a Tohatsu. This isn't a quirk of engineering. It's a quiet agreement between manufacturers, a way to fill out product lines and pad margins without changing a single bolt. For mechanics, this kind of rebranding blurs the line between brand reputation and real-world value, raising tough questions about what buyers are actually paying for. Evinrude's story stands as a warning to every outboard owner. After 111 years on the water, the company shut down overnight in May 2020. Service centers closed, parts supplies dried up, and thousands of loyal customers found themselves stranded with engines no one could fix. Mechanics recall scrambling for seals and electronics that vanished from shelves within weeks, but the pain didn't stop at parts. Evinrude's proprietary diagnostic tools locked out independent shops, leaving owners dependent on a shrinking list of authorized dealers. The contrast couldn't be sharper. Yamaha and Suzuki allow open access to their scan tools, while Mercury and Evinrude have built digital walls. When a brand disappears or restricts diagnostics, the cost lands squarely on the owner. The collapse of a century-old name proved that trust isn't just about today's performance, it is about whether help will be there when you need it most. 70% of catastrophic outboard failures can be traced back to owner neglect. Missed impeller changes, skipped flushes after saltwater use, and untreated fuel top the list of preventable mistakes. Mechanics see it every week. Engines with years left on the clock, sidelined by simple oversights. The lesson is blunt. The badge on the cowl matters, but the hand on the wrench matters more. No outboard, no matter the brand, can survive long without routine care. For anyone weighing a new engine, the power to avoid a 5-figure repair bill sits squarely with the person turning the key. Ownership isn't just about the engine you choose, it's about what you do after the sale. Right now, mechanics trust their own dollars to what survives salt, not what dominates ads. 65% choose Yamaha, despite Mercury's 41% market share and pricier repairs. Parts access, corrosion resistance, and simplicity win over marketing. Your next outboard decision is about more than horsepower. It's about what fails you least.